Well, it is a very comfortable morning outside. Happy Thursday. Appreciate you joining us for a little devotional video chat this morning. Great turnout last night for our Operation Christmas Child Shoebox packing party. A lot of folks active, filled over 100 boxes. And so great to see all of that. Appreciate Women's Missionary Union putting that together. Tonight, we've got a few folks riding up to Maiden, North Carolina for the Carolinas Evangelism Conference. And so I'm looking forward to that trip, hearing a couple great evangelists preaching tonight. So get in a little bit later, but I can sleep in tomorrow. Friday's typically a day off anyway, but I'll have to report to work about 3:30, and a senior adult trip up to Mount Airy, another good meal, and a play at the Andy Griffith Playhouse tomorrow night. And then a little bit of family work on Saturday and preaching on Sunday. So full weekend ahead. And so all that's fine. We're discussing Israel this week, and no discussion of Israel prophetically, I think, is complete without addressing the 38th and 39th chapters of Ezekiel. You can actually follow the IDF on Facebook. IDF stands for the Israeli Defense Forces, and they post a lot of stuff. They post a lot of videos. And so you can kind of see some things militarily going on in Israel on that Facebook page. And I don't know what kind of, I can assume what kind of spin it has. So I'm not going to say that it's necessarily a reliable news outlet, but it's neat if you follow what's going on in Israel to see some of the things that they post and share on there. But primarily in Ezekiel 39, God is talking about how he draws Israel's enemies in what most of us believe is a futuristic attack, and even historically, we see that God raised up the Assyrians to judge his people Israel. He raised up the Babylonians to judge his people Israel. He raised up the Greeks for a lot of reasons that we can see, and even the Romans to judge Israel. Well, he says in Ezekiel 39, I led you out, talking about Israel's enemies. I brought you. Chapter 38 says it was like a hook in your jaw that I drew you into this. But then he says in Ezekiel 39, about verse 2 or verse 3, he says, then I will knock the bow out of your left hand, and I will cause you to drop the arrows that are in your right hand. God uses various nations to judge Israel, but at the end of the day, he rallies, he responds, he rises up to defend his chosen nation. And so we see that all coming futuristically, and we can keep our eyes on the Middle East to give us some sense of the unfolding of biblical prophecy. 79 or 80% of all things ever prophesied in the scriptures have already come to pass. Things about the birth of Christ, things about the regathering of the nation, things, all of these things. And so with basically only a fifth of prophecy yet to be fulfilled, we needn't have any doubt that it will be fulfilled exactly as it says. So very interesting to keep our eyes on Israel. I'm going to get out, pull a few weeds this morning, make sure all the plants get water, because we got a heat wave rolling in, and it doesn't look like there's a strong chance of rain. Of course, me watering everything is a great way to guarantee that rain's going to come when I don't need it so bad. But anyway, going to get out and do those things this morning, then get to the office in a little bit. I want to let you know that Charles Simpson has moved down to Davidson Health and Rehab, and so trust that he will see some progress, some recovery. Pray for Jim Smith. Jim's had a challenging week physically, and Miss Pam Compton has a couple of medical procedures today, so we want the Lord to bless her and see her through that and give her some good information, results, healing, and recovery. And Miss Faye Fincher, I talked to her yesterday. She's recovering, staying with her daughter. And I saw Miss Donna Newsom yesterday. So as far as I know, everybody's stable. Nobody's hospitalized today. So we'll take that as a good day. And I hope you'll have a great Thursday for the Lord's glory. God bless you.